Okay, that was just messy, and what if he like forgot math now? Welcome to Ranger Reviews, the web series we look at episodes of the TV show Power Rangers and then discuss them. Today we're exploring the 13th episode of the show Power Rangers Turbo, as well as the 218th episode overall titled The Millennium Message. We begin this episode at the youth center where Tommy is training Tanya, who's giving it her all. Stone brings a bowl of mashed bananas over to the monkeys. Okay then. Adam, Kat, and Justin walk in, and Adam is dressed up as a magician for a stunt show apparently. The monkeys take Adam's magic wand, and suddenly as they shake it, an earthquake happens. Dun dun dun! A monkey tosses the mashed bananas, getting it on Stone, though it seems like shaving cream now. On TV, they have no idea what the earthquake was, and Tommy tells everyone they need to go check it out. Also, Detox is being carried around by her goons on a beach shore. At the power chamber, the Rangers see a spaceship is coming toward the power chamber, and then they see that the ship is breaking up into pieces. It then crash lands by Detox, who falls off of her thing, falling face down, ass up in the sand. Detox is freaky. She gets up and wants to check out that ship. In the power chamber, they're confused as to why someone would travel this far to help them or even just talk to them. The pieces of the ship are allegedly scattered all over Angel Grove, so the 5 Rangers will split up and check these out. On the beach, Detox finds a robotic police officer who is knocked out. They grab him, leaving back to the ship. Porto switches him on there and he introduces himself as a Blue Centurion, saying that he has an urgent message for Demetria and how it'll forever change the balance of power in the universe. Detox then just does Demetria's voice, and he shows a message that the forces of evil will come together to destroy the Earth. And we see a hologram of Rita, Zed, and the Machine Empire there with buildings exploding. Detox wants to know if there's anything more, and he shows her that there's only one force that stands in their way. And we don't see it, but we have to assume it's the Power Rangers. Apparently, this will happen in the year 2000, Earth's next millennium. Detox immediately knows what she has to do, and Porto turns off the Blue Centurion, and Detox tells Porto to make him evil, but Porto explains he can't because he's a police officer. I don't understand how that works. So now he's just going to be programmed to think that the Power Rangers are actually evil. Tommy's at the power plant walking around looking for a part, but Detox is there watching via her periscope. So she sends down Piranhatrons to attack Tommy to make the Blue Centurion believe that Tommy is actually attacking them. The Piranhatrons show up and Tommy starts beating them all up pretty easily. Porto puts a device in the Blue Centurion's back, and Detox tells him, as Demetria, that the Power Rangers are attacking innocent citizens. Blue Centurion teleports out and Detox laughs. Tommy keeps fighting off the Piranhatrons, but now they're backing away slowly. Shift into turbo. Then sirens blare behind Tommy, and here comes the Blue Centurion, the defender of the intergalactic law. He tells Tommy to back away from the innocent citizens, and the Piranhatrons teleport away. Blue Centurion puts Tommy under arrest, but then the other Rangers show up, and then Blue Centurion says he has other matters to attend to. What? He leaves. The Rangers talk about the Blue Centurion, and apparently Adam knows about Blue Centurions being a race of good robots thanks to Zordon. Then the Turbo Navigator that Justin has starts to go off like crazy, and they need to split up to find a detonator. Kat and Tanya are walking around and they get ambushed by the Blue Centurion, and stupid Kat twists her fucking ankle again. My god. Then Tommy tries to stop Blue Centurion from attacking, but he's really getting his ass kicked against this dude, getting hit back. Kat tries to plead for them to just both stop. Detox says that Pink is going to cause issues, so she asks Porto for a spare monster, and we meet Terratooth, a monster who will eat everything. They're going to send it down to eat Kat, I guess? It shows up and immediately attacks Kat, who hits it away and is struggling to run away because this girl has the ankles of a 90-year-old. Then the other Rangers show up with their weapons, firing at Terratooth, but Kat just blows up the damn monster with a single shot from her bow. Wow, okay. The 5 then try to talk to Blue Centurion, who believes that they just killed an innocent bystander. They fight him a bit before Tanya and Justin get him to stand still for a moment, and Justin goes into his back, turning him off. How did he know to do that? Then Justin goes to deactivate the detonator that's apparently also in his back, and he starts to show the Millennium Message to them, and they reactivate him, but then the Blue Centurion just disappears. They didn't even defuse the bomb yet. Like, what the hell? Why would you turn him back on? Detox fires the torpedoes, making Terratooth giant, which is really disturbing for some reason. Blue Centurion sees Terratooth, and he plans to now restrain the monster, who just grabs him and holds him up in the air. The Rangers show up, and they need to save the Blue Centurion. So they call out their Turbo Zords, forming the Turbo Megazord. They attack Terratooth, who is still holding Blue Centurion, and they pry the monster's hands open, allowing Blue Centurion to get away. They then just knock him down to a smaller size. Apparently, I mean, it's kind of unclear. Detox hits a switch which causes Terratooth to start getting more armor on his body. Then the Rangers show up with Blue Centurion, firing at him with their auto blasters, but then the monster just disappears. Blue Centurion then runs after the Piranhatrons, but the Rangers follow him because there's still a damn bomb inside of him, but then, after he leaves around the corner, the Blue Centurion just explodes. Then freaking Detox shows up, mocking the Rangers because their friend just exploded. She then points up, and giant Terratooth is back, so the Rangers fire at him with their turbo ram cannon, but of course that does nothing. The Rangers yell about how they need to do something before they get blown up by Terratooth, who now has to take out a sword. He then gets hit by lasers from off screen. Then giant police cars are coming this way. Apparently the Blue Centurion's fine. Tommy says Divatox lied, but I don't know how that's true. We all saw that giant explosion. Blue Centurion is driving and he initiates a Robo Racer battle mode, creating his own new cool Megazord. I actually really dig this Zord. The Rangers talk about how amazing the Zord is, which like chill, I mean it's not that amazing, although it does beat that giant pyramid that they had last time. Robo Racer fights off Terratooth, even wrapping him in giant handcuffs, and it blocks his attack with a SWAT shield before it uses its blaster, killing Terratooth hopefully once and for all. The Rangers are with the Blue Centurion, saying that the detonator is still active. What? How? There was a giant explosion. Alpha shows up with wire cutters to help them deactivate the bomb, and he freaks out because he doesn't know what to do, and he cuts one wire. No go. Justin tries again, and nope, it doesn't work. Then they realize it's the last wire, which deactivates the bomb. In the power chamber, they get the Blue Centurion to play his message for them, but he can't play it right at all anymore, and he can't say what stands in Divatox's way anymore. Maybe it's because you guys kept cutting random ass wires for no reason. The Rangers are mad because Divatox probably has info that they don't have now, but I mean, what can you do? They promise to get the Blue Centurion back to his own galaxy soon. The end. Okay, there's a lot to unpack here. First of all, Blue Centurion's a really cool character. A space robot who is a police officer who has come to explain some urgent news to Demetria. I like how they realize that Divatox now has information that they don't have, which puts them at a disadvantage. Also, Robo Racer's pretty cool. I mean, not a bad showing for the Blue Centurion's first appearance. Now here's where I get lost. First of all, why is Adam in a damn magician outfit the entire episode if it was never shown or had anything to do with the plot or anything? What an embarrassing costume choice for absolutely no reason. Secondly, what the hell happened with that detonator? You can't just make an explosion happen and then go back on it like that. I mean, freaking Divatox showed up in person for the first time in what feels like forever in front of the Rangers, and you're just gonna undo it all for added tension later? What kind of crappy writing? Also, how many freaking lives did Terratooth have? My god. You can tell they were really struggling with this Japanese footage, but wow, maybe like another pass on this script would have helped. Other than that, this is probably one of the most interesting episodes of Turbo that we've had since maybe the premiere, so I'll try not to be bitching too much about it. So will it continue to entertain next episode? Find out next time, but until then, may the power protect you.